Talon where Chidori was constantly sundering his mid-1 Earth Spirit. And I'm like, bro, you're the carry. Please stop saving your Earth Spirit. Yes, I understand he's mid. I understand he's the CEO. But I was not encouraged by this duo.
Sometimes the hero don't have to do the superhero thing, you know. You just need to make sure that your team can win the fight.
Right.
That's all.
Not everyone needs to enable each other. Sometimes you need to be selfish, and as a Terrorblade, I feel like it's generally in your best interest to be selfish, as Tim's actually ends up being the final pick, and we get an off-lane Spirit Breaker, taking a page out of Western Europe's book.
In isolation, right? So they had no idea. Good for them. It's always cool to see the friendly rivalries between the teams, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of friendly rivalries. Well, mostly friendly, outside of the ones that we mentioned behind the scenes.
Right.
Our coach from BLACKLIST, Mr. Mike.
That's right. That's
Junk in the comms. And I think that's already a big blessing for BLACKLIST.
very deliberate word choice, right?
Yeah, you have to think about what you say. It has to have a purpose, and also dissuades Junk.
Well, for now, it's war for both BLACKLIST and SMG, but SMG are going to be able to pick up first blood. Goes towards Masaros. I think mid-1 was trying to take that with the boulder smash, but I think they're going to be happy it's at least a core. Mid-1 back on his mid. Earth Spirit would have probably really liked to get that because it would have meant an earlier bottle into the Urn Rush. And
I mean, level 1 Bulldoze is 40% stat resist, up from 35, so...
Pretty good for Space Cow.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to be threatening on him, although you could threaten on that Sky.
Yes, they can. A very easy kill there. Did Bosco even have to use the Blood Grenade? He did. So a bit of time spent for BLACKLIST to invest in that kill, but they're going to be the physical to really follow through and actually pick up on that kill.
Yeah, and they can't fully commit onto mid now. Bosco shows up with a nice tomato creep. Gonna be able to cut them off a little bit.
Ultimate, they're gonna gamble on this bottom room. Mid-1 will roll on in. Rune is going to spawn top to DD, but the kill onto Apu is very fast. Mid-1 as well might just end up dropping here. Rolling Thunder ought to seal the deal. A clap out from Bosco as Mid-1 doing a good job of staying, out of position of the roll, but he's still gonna be killed by that swashbuckle. Magnetize does a bit of work now as it's going to collect the kill onto, at the very least, Bosco. Ooh, but a nice repositioning from Carl. Sees him up on the high ground with the wand charges. He is going to live. The maiden auto attack's not nearly enough. Raven as well joining this fight. That's a really early rotation for him. He ran here. He did not TP. Getting involved there, trying to cut off Masaros. Is back top lane. KP is just going to be able to farm a bit more here.
An untouchable, or just more heals coming out, more harassment coming out for the impetus as well.
Rune does spawn bottom. It's an illusion rune picked up by Bosco. Another Rolling Thunder here, though, with the Ink Swell. Stun is going to miss John well. They still actually have the kill as well onto Tim's as Mid-1 looking for the roll. So far, support for support, as it looks like another support make that is yet to fall. Raven TP into this mid lane fight, by the way, by the looks of things. No TP scroll available for him. And
Aura probably, or just the Dominator, wouldn't mind that too much into the Overlord.
Right.
Has massive stacks for himself. The big thing that BLACKLIST is losing by pressuring Mid-1 is you're allowing Chidori pretty much a free lane. KP has just not threatened up top in a very long time, and Terrorblade farm is pretty damn fast.
KP does have a Vanguard as well, so that's both offlaners opting for Vanguard, as they are going to now connect and potentially look for a kill onto Carl. He's got a big old one, the chain stuns. Carl at least able to take down Apu. Oh, as they interrupt Raven from getting off an early Wukong's command. Does not have enough mana now for the Boundless Strike until he pops the wand, but it's not fast enough to actually stun anyone inside of this thing. Looks like SMG are going to look for more. The Rolling Boulder not quite long enough for Mid-1 to connect. Boulder Smash as well, easily juked out as BLACKLIST. They think they can take the fight on back, and they can because KP's connected from the top lane. Charge onto Mid-1. He just barely gets away. So far, it's only really Carl that's dropped in this fight. Nice stun here onto Masaros, but he doesn't really have a whole lot else to offer. He does have maxed wild axes, though, so you continue stacking these up. Fight is going to go the way towards SMG. KP once again charging back uphill onto Mid-1. Finds another bash, a bit fortuitous. Is going to be able to interrupt the Rolling Boulder away, and the damage out from Boss, who collects the kill. Carl with a haste room back in this fight after he did die earlier. Is going to be able to make it 2 onto John well. SMG eager to fight there, aren't they? But so are BLACKLIST.
Yeah, both sides really wanting to skirmish, understanding that there's some early timings they can make use of here. So he will jump off Fu and double for Carl coming off the back of that. Actually just goes for free. I mean, they're dragging some numbers in.
Oh, in comes mid one. Chidori does have himself that Metamorphosis available. Only level 2 meta though. We'll see what they can do as the fight kicks off with mid one missing a couple of spells. Carl on his way back in is going to find himself roared up. Had a shield rune for the first half of that fight as they have found a soulbind onto the 2 cores. Carl though really dishing in the damage, even pre-diffusal blade as Raven once again joining this fight earlier, doing a bit more. Nice kick out from mid one. Does see Massaro still alive in this fight as they're trying to finish off Carl. Another rolling boulder. That's the damage to get it done. KB charging behind the fight as well, trying to finish off Masaros. Doesn't quite do that, but the Echo Saber early on will cleave right through mid one on the Monkey King. Masaros and Chidori now behind the tier 1 tower. BLACKLIST are going to turn back and not...
Mike likes building phylactery on this hero.
Yeah, all right. 2 bounty runes here going to be picked up by Carl, and another kill onto Afu. As the Mystic Flare damage is not nearly sufficient. Zhao is going to go down as well, but they're looking to counter-initiate. Mid one is connected on the roll. He's going to kick him right into the hands of Chidori. Now got that max meta, but needs to sunder and can't do it in time. The stun from Boundless Strike was simply enough.
It was Masaros clearing out a lot of the ancient stacks. I'm going for the Ags.
Yeah, and he has it now. We'll see if that makes much of a difference here as mid one is going to give chase, connects the stun onto Bosku, waiting to kick him back into the head. No, actually, they're just going to roar him. That's going to send these drum charges up a bit more, but he's actually out of range. There he is, the drums of Slum now. And a lot of magic damage are going to be able to kick through Bosku.
Yeah, I mean, this is maybe awkward.
I think it'll be all right. You bulldoze your way out of here.
We'll push it forward, going for the smoke play out again.
And here they go. It looks like they're going to start off another fight 4v5 as SMG. I mean, they're going to have to run the disc defrag tool in between games here. I mean, it's not looking real good. How long before they claim KP as a Filipino, Jonathan?
He is.
No, there it is. That's a nice kill. Finally, they connect onto something here. Tims did die the Arcane Rune, but at the cost of his own life here, Jonathan. And a nice rolling boulder into the Mystic Flare. That's what it's supposed to look like. They'll be under an SMG ward, but they've got pretty good positioning. SMG reacting well now, doing a bit of repositioning as KP's going to be first to break the smoke. Connects onto 2, the follow-up stun. Oh, it could have been disastrous, but an Yule Scepter in time sees Raven still find a 2-man stun onto 2 cores. The follow-up stun from Bosku's Centaur Conqueror as well. Sees Masaro's trapped inside of the Wukong's command, surrounded as well by the units. Down he goes. The Roar not doing a whole lot there. Mid one now finds himself awkwardly in this fight as the magic damage onto Carl's not half bad, but they have KP to charge all the way through the fight. A big sunder from 1 HP out from Chidori at the very least. It could allow them to pick off now 3 cores. Carl's out of this fight. The Monkey King as well without a BKB. Still pretty darn strong here, Jonathan. Afu has good vision now, finds the silence onto KP. Mid one looking to try and follow up onto that with another silence, but there's too much damage. KP has got a BKB. In trouble now is mid one. I think he's got a Phantom on top of him, so he can't roll away. And with Raven immediately closing the gap, he is just dead. Perma-stun and silence to death. Chidori's committed now as well on the Metamorphosis, but they're not going to choose to fight anymore. They've lost the mid laner, they've lost the captain and the CEO. Chidori with a very nicely timed Mantis though chooses now to turn and fight into this one. Disarm, but still trying to get off the freezing field. It's going to be John Noel, but just perma-stun basically. The Roar does at least allow SMG to continue backing away, but it does feel like they've overextended, and now BLACKLIST eager to dive underneath the tier 1 tower to see how much more they can get. A beautiful 2-man stun to catch Taurus and Chidori. John Noel letting it go. Finds the kill into Bosku, forces Raven now underneath the tower. He's going to go down, couldn't retreat back through that freezing field. So it's SMG with a nice buyback off of Zhao, who are going to be able to still somewhat get the better of that fight.
On, say, your Beastmaster, your Skyrath Mage, it's a support that's going to have to run up to try to combine with a Mystic Flare. So it's hard to connect all of these dots.
SMG, they want to connect here. They do see Tims. They're not going to see Carl, who's going to roll up with an Invis Rune. Tims also has the Axe Scepter, so look for a Dark Portrait in this fight. That's a dead Bosku immediately, though. Mid one leashed up, stuck inside the Wukong's command as Chidori's 20 seconds without a Metamorphosis is going down rather quickly, but gets off a Metamorphosis, or sorry, a Sunder, pardon me, onto Carl. Oh, they actually stuck up Raven. I don't know what blocked his tree, what broke his tree. It was axes. It must have been axes, but Chidori in trouble. Doesn't have Sunder now for another minute and a half. KP easily makes the jump, and Raven under the cover of the BKB has himself a double kill, but that's a buyback out from mid one. Rolls back into the fight after TPing onto the outpost. Needs more, wants more, but KP with the BKB now finds a couple of nice bashes here and a stun. Mid one wants out of this fight now, or wants back in. Yeah, that's another roll in. Raven slowed a bit to a crawl. Mid one still has 5 more remnants, but a big charge again by KP through the fight. It's basically bisecting it time and time again. Hit by the roots. Gonna find himself dispelled now thanks to all of his darn status resist, but eventually taken out. That's 2 buybacks, so Chidori bought back as well. They're making a play for Roche.
Painful to commit for those pickoffs. And you'll find Aegis, you'll find some ways to cover Chidori at the least, but it puts a massive risk on the side of SMG. Again, BLACKLIST, with the way they've been playing, with the aggression, has been looking good. Mid one, just bought back.
Oh, this would be a big dieback here, and it looks like they've got it all but basically guaranteed. Mid one does find a roll away. That's a big impetus. Boss cute. Yep, he'll punish you for that. That was a huge impetus shot. Chidori, it's to happen, and if I knew, I'd be playing. Oh, well, mid one thinks he knows he's going to actually get force staffed away. They're trying to kill Carl. That's what they needed. They needed a roll into a roar, and that is exactly how they're going to get that done. A kill onto Carl. Chidori's going to pop them out of here on the first life, as they have forced Raven out of this one as well. Pops the BKB in order to run from mid one, who's going to continue rolling. They didn't actually latch him onto anyone, and now Raven in a lot of trouble without a BKB, rooted up and blasted by Chidori's right clicks. Does not have buyback. Looking for more. They'll find one more as well as Apu with the kill onto Tims. As I was about to say, John, it doesn't feel like the stuns between mid one and Masaros have really come together. That was perfect. The control onto Carl completely deleted him from the fight.
And that was what was missing last time around. Like, they get that instant lockdown on the big team fight hero. They get this opening onto high ground. The Aegis does expire, so you don't have that safety net for Chidori, but...
Hey, KP's bought out here too, by the way.
Yeah, a refresh coming out from him. I mean, that can be massive. Double BKB, double charge in the middle of a lot of heroes. A double nether strike's nice, but where's your follow through?
There he goes. Stuns basically 4 heroes here. He does not pop the refresher yet, and he's going to be able to easily make it out of the fight. Stroke of Fates as well. They're going to start adding up. That's a max Stroke of Fate. We're going to have a Soulbind as well in 3 more seconds here, continuing to steal the illusions on over from Chidori and turning them against him. Monkey's still dead for 25, but SMG are going to be pulling off of high ground as KP's now chooses the moment to pop the refresher. That's a dead mid one. The roll on through from Carl's going to cancel its EP, potentially condemns Masaros here as well, as KP has yet another strike to use courtesy of the refresher, turns it back over for the kill.
The Roar have the site ready, and just keep that control up.
See how it goes here, as KP may look to make a go at Masaros here. Oh, great Yule Scepter out from Apu. Does still get Masaros to pop his BKB, but they did waste Wukong's, and now mid one, he's back in this fight. There's a BKB still on Raven, as mid one finds himself silence, pops that fresh 9-second BKB in order to continue on in the fight. Raven as well uses his as the Soulbind once again, not latching onto anything quite yet in this fight. KP disrupting the backline, is looking for the solo kill onto Apu. Refreshes, should be able to find this one easily, but they've gotten Raven.
Still no
Raven is down. Chidori is huge with this amount of damage. Oh, and the Roar to cancel the TP only lasts a mere second before he charges across their screen. They are chasing him with quite a number of projectiles here, Jonathan, but I believe with 1500 HP, KP ought to be just fine here.
Only happens.
Mid one did not get into range to collect the charges. Kind of, you know, a moderate deal, but not the craziest, you know.
Not the biggest loss in the world at this point. You're happy enough to just get KP out, maybe have him force the buyback for the high ground defense. It'd be a casual gig on. Just for the utility of it.
Wow, I actually thought that was onto Masaros. He held on to his BKB. I certainly wouldn't have. As Chidori is going to be inhibited. Carl is going to get a force staff out as KP charges across the river, finds himself John well stunned up there. Really good damage here. Does actually force Chidori to pop the Metamorphosis, and now it's a BLACKLIST rivalry who are going to about face. That was just poke, basically. They just poked long range. They didn't commit anything there.
They had to use Roar for Masaros.
How they're going to go in? Zhao is not going to quite be burst under to 0, but off of the Nether Strike, he ought to be, especially with the refresh. KP has the kill easily. That was his charge committed. Still conserves his second BKB charge. Raven, though, looking for the right initiation, has managed to find Afu, and this is SMG once again kind of just getting outmaneuvered here, it feels like, especially as they're onto Chidori. Does not have, well, a Sunder target, I guess. Down he goes. Mid one as well, being beat to a pulp by Raven, and the fight's just completely broken apart. Zhao is, that was actually pretty funny. He's got shards, so he used the Ogre Seal Totem to get away, as Chidori does have himself a Hurricane Pike to safety.
Get away and get a really interesting smoke angle.
They're going to scout him. They know, and they're going to see Tims first. Oh, but they can't quite connect the roll or break his tree in time, and now the counter initiation is big out from KP, looking for the ult. He actually bashes the mid one down to the low ground. His positioning a bit unfortunate there. Rolling Thunder is going to be committed here, so now SMG with a bit of an advantage. They do manage to pop the Lincoln Spear of Carl. They're going to try and burst him, and the damage now from Chidori, but he's going to be interrupted. Didn't get the BKB off in time. Carl's still alive, trying to get out of this fight, as Raven's going to pop the Mega Wukong's command. That increased radius, forcing back SMG, resetting the fight. But who's used more? Who still has more to fight with? Masaros, did he go back in?
He did.
Okay, KP says thank you for your life. Chidori's gonna tickle him there a bit with the Sunder, does put him on worse HP, and now KP still alive, dying to the reflection. He's gonna eventually go down. Mid one as well, back in on the fight. He's gonna be able to pick off Carl, so that's a 5 versus 3 now with double buybacks out from SMG. They do get onto John well, as it's Mid one who rolls away to safety out of this fight, but you can see the illusions basically now just fighting each other.
It's so painful. You saw Midwin's HP, he was being chased down by the terribly stolen illusions.
I assume it's, no, they want to fight, John. Midone wants to fight. He's in, but he's 1 versus 3, and he's getting his ass kicked right now. Oh, okay, gets off the BKB, but the boss crew damage, not enough. Midone, no. It's still going to go down. Raven collects the kill onto him. That's going to be a 2-man soulbind. Yule Scepter buys off a bit of time now on the counter initiation, but Tibbs is not going to go down that easily, and now that's 3 dead for the side of SMG. What? But Masaros, he just bought back. Chidori, he looks like he's going to sunder him, but he's got even less HP to offer. All right, they're going to be able to get out in time. What the? Jonathan! Base game with KP and Mid-1 getting right on top of these targets. Raven as well, right, jumping around in the fights. Boundless strike from the trees, but it's so punishing here. That's going to be an Aegis easily now into the hands of Blacklist Rivalry. Raven will pick that up alongside the Refresher Shard. He's got Ag Scepter as well. I mean, he can basically just use the ulti, at least the first one, just to, you know, secure Megas. KP is going to be scouted. I mean, 80% status resist. He's out of here. Masaros looks like he wants to roar him. That would have been a bold move. Mid-1 rejoining this fight. For now, SMG, they're going to try and play around this ward. Blacklist Rivalry respecting that as Mid-1, he's going to roll outside of the ward, finds a nice initiation onto 2, but he's going to be perma-stunned here. Nullifier, Mid-1, someone save the CEO. He's down, and he doesn't have buyback by 7 gold. He'll have buyback here in just a couple of seconds, certainly, but Carl, he's rolling on it immediately, and KP with the follow-up stuns. Oh, Chidori does not get a Sunder off, and he used meta on the first life, John. Oh, no, Mid-1, he's going to buy back, but it's Masaros in trouble, finished off, killed off by Carl. And Raven's damage, 3 buybacks up from SMG, but it's a 3 versus 5, and they've kind of already thrown everything that they've had. KB, whatever you're going to do on SMG, it has to happen now. There's a courier coming the way. That is going to be the refresher, actually, for Chidori. Oh, but he's going to barely just get it in time.
Oh, God.
The BKB off with the perma-stuns. There's still a boundless strike, and he's just down. Jonathan. SMG, they fail to close this one out yet again by the looks of things, as they're being harassed back in their fountain. 5 dead, the GG called.